Hello from the 2019 Global Legal Hackathon Finals Gala in New York City. My name is Laurence Colletti, and I'm the host for today's show. And joining me now, I have David Fisher. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, obviously, this is our second year in attendance for the Global Legal Hackathon, and we're at a different location than last year. We're at White & Case.
Yeah, they've been an incredible host for the finals here. We've got the entire floor here on the 49th floor in Midtown Manhattan at their New York office. And the teams are pouring in now and preparing and getting ready for the finals, coming up in, I think, just over an hour.
Well, I know we routinely hit this, David, but, for some of our listeners, they don't quite know who you are in the Global Legal Hackathon. So maybe just a brief bio before we get into the questions here.
Sure. So I'm the founder and CEO of a blockchain company called Integra Ledger. We're a blockchain for the world's legal industry. I'm also the founder of the Global Legal Blockchain Consortium, which has about 235, I think it's more now, institutions and organizations from, I think, 35 countries, and it's huge companies and big law firms, and it's the largest blockchain consortium in the world in the legal industry. And I guess about 18 months ago, towards the end of 2017, we had the idea of launching this Global Legal Hackathon platform or concept to really bring the world closer, in terms of early stage legal technology innovation. We thought that was consistent with our outlook as a blockchain company, which is by definition a decentralized technology that works better when you have more decentralization on a global scale. And so it just made sense to us to sponsor this event. And we've been blown away with what's happened to it. It's just incredible here in the second year.
So my CEO wanted me to ask you this question. We noticed that you're donning different duds today. So can you describe for our audience what you're wearing?
Well, it's my party. I get to wear what I want, right? So I've got my cowboy boots, cowboy hat, my big Texas belt buckle, and I think, first of all, I consider myself a little bit Texan, and I do live in Colorado, so I'm kind of a Western, Southwestern sort of guy, despite the fact I grew up in the Northeast. And I think this, symbolizes for me, and for everyone here, a spirit of just adventure and risk-taking. When you think of the American West and cowboys and the mythology around that, and you look at what we've got here. We've got teams from China and Brazil and India and in Australia, all who have flown in, all of whom started from that pool of 6,000 participants, back in February. And we're now down to, I'll call it maybe 60, in the finalist teams, the 12 teams. That's about 1% of what started. And, they've flown here to New York. Many of them haven't been to the United States before, let alone New York City. That takes some guts, right? I mean, they're innovating. First of all, they're innovators, they're entrepreneurs. They're competing. They've competed down to the point where they're the final 1%. So these are pioneers, right? These are cowboys, and so that's the reason.
So that's the inspiration.
That is.
Did you have to check your 6 guns at the lobby downstairs?
I think the TSA here in America would not have appreciated that.
That's too bad. Well, let's get to it. So, just in terms, obviously 6,000 participants, 46 host cities, and 24 different countries, and we've really thinned it down. So I've got 12 teams, including 2 Growl finalists as part of the finals here. And so obviously quite a bit sifting down. And so just, raw observation, how does last year stack up against this year?
The first year we didn't know what to expect. Obviously, it was the first year. We had no idea it was going to get as big as it did. In the second year, we've grown. So we've grown, I think, by about 20% overall, and that's in participants and cities and countries. This time around, we had a lot of repeat hosts around the world and sponsors. And so we're starting to get kind of a rhythm to this. And so that's thus the growth. It's gone very smoothly this year. And really what we're starting to see is this kind of growing global enthusiasm for the event, such that I think that the third year may be off the charts.
Awesome. So there is going to be a third year.
Oh, yes.
We're confirming that right now.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, so my next question is, obviously, there's a huge time commitment here, and I know you guys travel quite a bit. So just in recent airline mileage, where have you been?
Let's see. I've been we're in May now, right?
I think, yes.
So I've been to, I think this is my 8th trip to New York. I've been to London 3 times, Tel Aviv, Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai. I've been, I don't know, I've somehow managed to reacquire status on 3 airlines, and it's only May.
Oh, wow.
So that's a little bit, that's a dubious distinction.
Who are the big 3?
I think that's United, American, and Delta.
Awesome. All right, so getting back to time commitments, David. I mean, obviously, you fly, your team flies around, and we've got you and Corey and Pearson, traveling around to get this done. And just in terms of that, plus the volunteers, how much time does it take to plan one of these? I mean, it seems like you guys, right when one ends, you're automatically planning the next one. So how much time?
One way or another, we have probably 4 to 5 staff that are involved part-time to full-time, in this. And as I mentioned, it's synergistic with the blockchain consortium work we do, the global blockchain technology that we promote. And so the ability to engage with hundreds of organizations and ultimately thousands of people around the world, fits. I mean, it's beneficial. And we run the hackathon as a technology agnostic platform. So it's not a blockchain thing. It's not an Integra thing. We just think it's a legal innovation thing. But certainly, we've enjoyed the benefit of meeting innovators all over the world.
So any updates from contestants last year? You
have the always noteworthy Anika out of Melbourne, Australia. I think they've won awards. I think they're setting the world on fire. Incredible team. Revealu, the team out of Hungary, one of the global winners, has launched. They have some fun videos up on the web where they give you a tour of the office. But I mean, that's a success story. And we've heard of many other teams that have gone on and made adjustments or pivoted or launched. But I think at some point here we'll do a study of what became of all these teams. Certainly this year, many of the teams that we've seen come to New York, we think are going to get commercially launched. So that's exciting to watch.
Excellent. Well, second to last question, and it's loaded. So we haven't heard any of the final presentations yet. Any early predictions?
I have not seen them. I'm not involved. There's no thumb on the scale. I hear that they're very good, and we're gonna see the first ones in about 45 minutes.
Excellent. Well, David, I just have one last question before we close it out. I know you got to get going, get very busy. Our listeners, they want to reach out, check in with you guys, maybe get involved next year. How can they find you?
Definitely visit globallegalhackathon.com for sure. Please get involved. As I said, I think the event in the 3rd year is just going to be enormous. We're going to do some things to streamline it and scale it for the 3rd year. So globallegalhackathon.com, sign up for updates, that sort of thing. And if you need to follow me, find me on LinkedIn. My name is David Fisher and Integra Ledger.
Excellent. Well, we've reached the end of the road for today's episode. I want to thank our guest, David Fisher, for joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Also want to thank our listeners for tuning in. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review us in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or better yet, your favorite podcasting app. I'm Laurence Colletti, signing off from the 2019 Global Legal Hackathon Finals Gala in New York City. Until next time, thank you for listening.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, or download our free Legal Talk Network app in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.